Hello everyone and welcome to our They Came for the Cyclops Cave actual play here at the Onyx PuffCon 2023. I'll be your director for my afternoon, which can be your morning or your evening because time zones are fun like that. I'm Michele Masala. I'm a writer and developer for Onyx Puff, and I share the honor of having pitched and co-developed They Came for the Cyclops Cave. So I'm here running my baby live for Onyx PuffCon today. Onyx Puff is collaborating with the Budana Group, which helps people and does volunteer work and supports by using the RPGs as a tool to teach and help those in need. And if you would be so kind to consider supporting the Budana Group for this occasion, it's anything you can contribute matters. So please consider doing so. As for what we'll do today, I'll say that Cyclops' Cave, like I mentioned in the They Came From panel yesterday, is a game that ranges the whole breadth of the fantasy genre. But for today, we're gonna go with our Greek inspiration setting. So we're gonna have our heroes do some shenanigans in a Greece that probably has more to do with Xena and Hercules than actual historical truth in there. But now let's go through the players, who they are, what they do, and also what are they playing, so we can soon start and jump into our adventure for the day. I'll follow the order I have on the screen, which is very democratic, because I don't want to leave anyone feeling lessened or less important. So, Kim, who are you? What you wrote? Who are you playing? And anything you might want to say right now.
All right, I'm Kim Godwin. I'm one of the freelancers for Onyx Path. And of course, I wrote on They Came From the Cyclops' Cave as my third title, but my second They Came From. I've worked on all of the newer They Came From, starting from Classified, which was my first, all the way down to Witchford Academy. And it's been a lot of fun. I also worked on some Trinity Continuum, Aegis, Aether. I also worked on Ward Below. It's been a very busy 3 years for me. And today I am playing Celia the Hydra puppet. So it should be a lot of fun.
Okay, thanks, Kim, for telling us about yourself. And let's pass to Ryan. Ryan, hello. Who are you? Who are you playing? And anything else you might want to tell us?
Yeah, I'm Ryan. My pronouns are they, them. Oh, my pronouns are any, but they, them is just the most consistent. I'm a moderator in chat, so please do behave. I'm also a freelance writer for Onyx Path. I had the joy of contributing to They Came From Witchford Academy. And I do also just stream on Twitch as a variety streamer. Okay. Today I will be playing Bray, the Inhuman, who was a victim of Medusa, but got mostly better.
Mostly. Halfway there, by the concept you gave me. Okay. And once again, last but not the least, Claire, who are you? Who are you playing? And anything else about what you might want to share with our audience here?
Well, I'm Claire. I did some words for They Came From the Danger Zone. I'm mostly an enthusiastic amateur, emphasis on enthusiastic and amateur. And today I will be playing Zephys, who is an air spirit, also a sage, but she's not terribly sage. She has a tendency to float a few inches off the ground, and her actress will be mostly standing on a box. So there we go.
Okay. As for myself, I wrote on a lot of They Came From ever since I started writing for a supplement for Beyond the Grave, and also did some work for Onyx Path around the various game lines for World of Darkness, Chronicles of Darkness, Exalted Trinity, Scion, and the World Below as well, which a panel about it is starting right now, but you're here with us and you will have more fun with us, so please don't leave. I promise you'll enjoy our time here. Okay, I think we're ready to go and see what happens in this movie we are filming today, everyone. Okay, something I like to do with They Came From Games is to give you a title for the movie we're playing. But we're not gonna do that today because the title will depend on the choices your characters will make in the adventure. So we reveal the title at the very end, depending on things. Please do feel the responsibility there. Okay, our story starts in a idyllic ancient Greece of a absolutely non-specified age, year, or sort of location. It's not a Lucy Lawless road, and who am I to break the tradition there? Absolutely. Your characters find themselves in a big town with all the elements you can expect for a Greek town, for a central Greek town in such a movie. You have your city organized around a hill with a central temple with all the columns and the styles defined to according to the Greek aesthetics we all want to see from a movies like that. And you have people in togas that are absolutely anachronistic and also not quite Greek, but that's what the department had working there. There's some togas in there. There's some dresses that are more from a sort of Robin Hood serial the studio also had going, so they were just readapted to work in here as well. And as the camera pans over the city, you see that the place is busy as its people are. There's lots of people going and coming, merchants screaming. The fact is, your characters are a group of adventurers summoned here by King Eurystheus because the king himself needs someone who can work on a quest for him. Now, you will know that King Eurystheus is one with a certain fame when it comes to quest, because he happens to have just asked a certain Hercules to do 12 of those, so he's fresh from that. Then Hercules left the building and proceeded to get himself killed by some Hydra poison shenanigans. He threw himself on a burning pyre, as the myth goes. But you're in town because apparently the king is desperate for some adventurer to help him at something. But everyone knew that this town happened to be I mean, Hercules was forced to work in here, but it's still a place that heroes stay clear from, because you're just not gonna compare if you work in the same town as Hercules, you know. So what's the point of sticking around there? So you were around when the king asked for help now, though, and that's how your group of well, I'll let you define where on the scale of between mercenary and hero you will find yourself in here. But you were in the zone, basically. And I'll let you tell me what you're doing as you just enter the city. The guards let you pass. I'll let you tell me if you're with a cart or any other detail you might have as you approach the city and the king's palace is in sight. I'll shuffle things and start with Ryan here. Would you want to describe Bray to us and what he is doing and anything else?
Yeah, sure. So, in like true I guess, cold open montage-ish style. Because when Bray's heading to civilization, he wears full hood and cloak. But the audience will have already seen that he's covered in grey pebbly skin. He looks like a walking statue because that's what he is. But it's very obviously the movements are stiff because it's a very small actor in a large foam bodysuit. They've done the best they could without getting someone who can actually move that properly like a statue. But as we head into the into the town, I'm definitely kind of keeping an eye out for people who are most likely to pick our pockets or cut our purses, because that's what I would be doing if I were not so half petrified.
Okay. And Claire, what is Zephys doing?
She'll be going along with the group, making a point to try and stand downwind wherever possible, so that she gets a wind effect in her hair and her very expensive chiffon dress. And anytime she's like caught with the wind behind her, she's.
You wanted to describe. I know Zephys is a specific kind of being. You want to describe her to us as well? She's an air nymph or spirit, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yes. So wherever she is, she has a little bit of a wind effect going on. Sometimes shooting the poor stagehand with the fan an evil look if they end up with the hair stuck to the lip gloss. So
you have a stagehand assigned specifically to you with a fan. Just a role that will show in the credit. Zephys air person. So.
Assistant to the fan.
Fan.
Yeah, so she'll be looking off wistfully into the distance occasionally and just sticking with the group.
Okay.
Waiting to see where we're heading.
And what about Celia, Kim?
Celia is a giant green snake. So in lieu of doing a huge prop that is actually that looks properly like a hydra, it is a giant green snake who is slithering behind them. When they go to close-ups, instead of the snake, it's a puppet with that's mouth moves to talk. But they have made a little cape for this snake. It's about the size of a person's arm, just kind of slithering around. And when it's not slithering, because the snake's the snake isn't moving in the way that they want, they coil the snake on one of the other two's around their neck or something, so that the snake doesn't have to they don't have to film keep adjusting the camera for the snake's movement.
Very nice. Okay, now that we're done with the intro, I'll go a quick overview of the cinematics you all have available and the magical effects, so you can, as you start to interact with our world, you'll know what your weapons are. You start with 5 rewrites, and your cinematics are Common Bond, which allows you to pretend or say that you share a common bond with someone in the movie, and thus work together better, or convince them to leave you be, to lean into this bond, to reap some advantages from that. You have Cunning Disguise, which allows you to pretend to be someone else. It's not the magical effect version, so it's just a rather mundane camouflage there, but it's still helpful. You have 5 Steps Ahead, which have as your character declare just how much they had planned things well and turn a complication into a source of announcements instead. You have I'm Okay, which no matter the amount of damage you took from an event, as your character just turned out with 1 injury and no more at the end of the scene, which is quite useful. And you have Low Hospitality, which allows you to divine intervention, which allows you to summon a god to the scene and just have them solve the problem, the ongoing problem. It's a strong one. You have heroic burglary, which in its magical effect version allows you to go full Bilbo Baggins and put on a ring or whatever and turn invisible and be a very, very good thief. You have on Hail and Thunder, where you compose the coast of the cinematics by adding weather effects to the scene in the way you prefer, each has its benefits and such. And spiritual healing, where you open a portal to a place beyond the veil and have spirits come out, healing everyone, but also if you don't manage to close the portal, it will remain in place and cause trouble. Okay. So you have a wide arsenal of cinematics to help you there. Okay. And I'll ask you once again, not what your characters are doing right now, but what you do with the idea of going to the castle. You go straight there, you prefer to ask around for something, or you just gonna derail the movie right away and cause me to alter the script on the fly for you all.
Well, Claire,
I'm offended. I'm offended. I'm shocked. I'm shocked. I'm not.
are you going to push someone over?
No, Zephys is lovely. She would never do that on purpose. I mean,
Not when
no,
people are looking.
I wasn't going to push anyone over, unless there's like a really interesting NPC who's clearly going to throw a load of exposition at us.
Probably shouldn't push the king over.
No, we won't push him over.
Well, we'll see in about 2 to 3 minutes about that, how the meeting with the king goes.
So Celia is okay with us with just going to the castle.
Okay.
She'll bite
sorry.
people otherwise, but you know.
Yeah.
She is a wee snake. So whatever the others want to do, otherwise she's just going to be slithering and trying not to be stepped on.
I'll ask you, how giant of a snake are we talking? You're a big snake, or you're a snake as big as a person?
She is a snake that is as long as a person's arm.
Okay. With a cape which is coordinated for the size, of course.
Yes, it's a little cape. So it works best when the snake is draped over someone's shoulder, because the snake doesn't move properly in the way that they want it to, which is upright, sort of cobra-ish things. They got the wrong snake for it, so for those shots they use the puppet.
Okay. Well, you climb uphill to the palace, where you see there's guards on the front of that, and there's people mumbling and grumbling about some problems, but the guards, given you are starting with an human, a puppet, and a sage who still looks not quite human, because it's absolutely the thing you can do in Cyclops Cave. Your archetypes can look, everyone can look like anything. I always use the example that you can play as a sofa with a sword, and someday I'll do that. They seem a little bit puzzled by your presence, and they look to each other and say, state who you are, please. Why are you here? And now it's the moment to determine who's the one doing the talking in this group. At least for this occasion.
I mean, I'm not a terribly social character, but like, I'm happy to.
Feel free. Absolutely.
You know, people get weirded out when the snake starts talking to them. So
Okay. There's a brief moment of panic as it quickly becomes apparent that it falls to Bray, and then I look at the guards and kind of gesture to the snake with the little cape, and clearly something vaguely ethereal Clearly, the vaguely ethereal woman next to me. Well, we're adventurers, aren't we? What else do we look like? And we're here for a quest.
Sorry. No, it's far from me from judging. My brother-in-law is a Minotaur, so I'm not judging anyone.
No, I appreciate that, but like, in hindsight, 2020 and all that, we're adventurers.
Okay, I guess you're here for to talk with the king.
I just click and give him like a really awkward finger gun. I'm just trying to be confident and not feeling it.
Okay. Go ahead and have fun. Hopefully you'll help us with things, says the other guard. They help us with things. You're not allowed to say that. Oh, yes, sorry. Please go ahead.
I grumble slightly at how unhelpful that was.
You move into the palace and you see there's a certain group of people, which includes girls, boys, and everything, that are wearing togas with the face of Hercules painted on, like it would be on a ancient Greek vase. So it's black on the side with all the borders marked, and they are crying and they are lighting up flowers next to an image there, because they are still mourning the loss of their hero, and they're essentially quintessential fans, except in ancient Greece there. And they decided to pick a spot in the palace where Hercules used to sit down and eat his chicken or legs of mutton or breakfast, basically. And they picked that and they're turning that into a holy spot for the place. You move forward, and who is willing to make Enigma plus cunning roll here?
I am.
Okay.
Please do.
Okay. Enigmas plus cunning. So that means that I have 6 dice. And I have 1 10 and 1 8.
Okay.
So 3 successes.
Yes, indeed, because we're not playing either. We're playing They Came From, so 10 counts as 2. It's quite a bit. You cannot help but to notice that the Palace of Tyrins, because that's the name of the city, has seen better days. There are giant claw marks on the columns and places where the pavement is destroyed. It's not as if the place was attacked, but it's all as if the place was damaged and nobody could repair it yet. Something has happened here recently, and it's being a cause of concern, to be honest. Okay, as you move forward into the palace, a servant kindly takes you to the throne room. The servant speaks in a very monotonous way and says, "Please come with me. The king will see you soon." And you're introduced into this throne room where the braziers are thrown to the side. There's another servant taking out the coal from the braziers and the wood because it was turned over. And on the throne, you see, nibbling on his fingernails and absolutely stressed, you see the aging King Eurystheus, because it's been a while since the first labor of Hercules, so he gets older, and he must be at least in his 50s, and he is showing the signs of stress, to be honest. He has his very nice toga of a bright blue color with a medallion with his sigil that keeps it in place, a white beard, that it's starting to grow a little bit patchy. It should be better than this, and heavy shadows under his eye. The king has seen better days and is absolutely ignoring you at the moment, to be honest.
I would stop just before a respectful distance. I'm a bit further away than he's probably used to in this kind of situation because I don't know any better. I've had, let's say, a checkered past, and he's a source of authority. And then wait like a few moments, and then, my king.
Yes, I'm here.
We three are mighty adventurers, and I gesture to a snake and Zephys, who Bray isn't quite sure what Zephys is. He's a simple man at heart.
Yes, of course you are. I guess the gods do play dice, as they say. Well, I'm glad you ventured here to answer to the call. Will you accept the quest?
Why else would we be here?
Okay, very nice. So I'll have you sign the contract, please. A servant appears out of nowhere. He moves horizontally, like.
I don't have hands. How am I supposed to sign it?
What is the quest first?
There's a delivery that must be made, and because our establishment cannot keep it going for long. I'm afraid that I'm in such a dire need of the adventurers that I need someone to accept helping me with this. Someone can make an empathy plus cunning check. With this honor, he says, you can roll an empathy to that. Empathy plus cunning or empathy plus composure.
All right, and then I only got one success on that.
Oh, let's have a look.
It's good enough, but we'll see if someone does better.
I got one success as well.
Just one.
Okay, everyone won, so it's easy for
We're all on the same page.
The king stops quite heavily before saying honor. It doesn't mean honor, it means problem. So by the way, in the same time, there are lawyers discussing on how to make a snake sign in a way that's legally binding. And one says, just make her bite the thing. Well, so I promise that I know that it isn't part of the course of quests to take the closed box, so to say. So I promise that I'll cover you in gold for your. I was about to say for your size, but I mean I recognize that doesn't quite match your expectation here. So we'll say that we'll cover the snake 4 times to balance things there. You'll get covered in gold, and we'll drop it from a distance that doesn't hurt you when it's time to measure things.
Okay.
I kind of just look at Celia. Well, you're going to be on the receiving end of all of this, so you kind of have the final say. But seems fair.
If I don't like it, I'll just bite them.
Seems fair.
Okay, please. So do sign, because we are as Greeks, we invented democracy, and we are doing our best to invent the possibility to call people into a court to make them pay for stuff. So we're still working with that, but please sign. So this is legally binding in some way. They hand you the papers.
I will sign my name very large, and I will not read a single thing. Just immediately click on the terms and conditions. I
have read these.
I'm just very happy to write my name.
Okay.
I'll I'll make a show of reading it. I can't read, but I'll make a show of reading it, and then I just scratch an X in the indicated field.
Okay, you recognize there are words on paper of which you don't recognize the meaning because.
Celia's actually going to read it, but she has to. It also helps that she has to make someone hold her as she reads it.
Yeah, you have one of the lawyers there lowering himself to give you the paper in a way that you can see.
Mm-hmm. And to sign it, she'll bite the lawyer just enough to draw blood, and then bite the paper.
Okay, I'll tell you what the papers say, so you can decide how to sign there.
Mm-hmm.
They're basically the vaguest possible legally binding contract regarding a performance as a freelancer that you might imagine there. They mentioned the person who grants us their signature agrees to underwent anything Eurystheus asked for them for the duration of one quest, and not reveal any terms of condition about the payment of the circumstances of the quest for at least 3 lunar months past the end of said quest. So you have a little bit of an NDA there as well.
Yeah, of course.
And of course, the king promises to counterbalance the terms of the quest with an appropriate and respectful amount of gold or gems if in parentheses there's written or gems if gold is lacking, or food if the gems are lacking, or statues or in marble if everything of that is lacking. For the once the adventurers return triumphant from said quest, absolutely no payment in advance of any percentage of the gold will be granted before the end.
So Celia will actually relay what the contract says for everyone, because apparently she's the only one that's going to read this. But it does help that she's also inconveniencing the lawyer, so by doing so. But she'll relay it's what the actual terms and conditions are, and then she will bite the lawyer's hand and then bite the paper. So she's not gonna like bite down, like fill her mouth full of ink. That's gross.
Just a little. Yeah. We're not rolling close combat for that. It's just a nibble, which still hurts because you're still a snake. But
it's like she's not going to inject him with venom or anything yet. But just a nibble, because she needs a way to sign it. Okay. And she's not cutting her little snaky mouth. So.
Okay. Once you all sign in a way or another, it's the king himself who stands up from the throne and makes you a gesture to please follow him, which is unusual. He leaves the throne room, and as you go past an hallway, he starts to talk. You understand that the king is sort of venting on you all, and none of you asked for this, and it's not part of the quest either. So he said, as I'm sure you know, I had a degree of familiarity with Hercules. We were relatives of some sorts, some sort of divine family tree shenanigans. Technically, I'm not gonna gossip about the gods. He technically wasn't my relative in a full way, because a certain king of the gods got in there, but
we're familiar with the prologue.
Yeah, everyone knows that part. For some reason it sticks with people. Well, he made some mess during his life and had to repent. And I really couldn't stand the guy, and so I decided to make him do an undefined number of labors, and which I never expected him to do. And I started little with an invincible lion with metallic fur, and which is little. Then I went to hydras. Then I went to places full of horse shit, because I was finishing the ideas there at a certain point. It kept going no matter what. It kept going. The giant boar he killed, the harpies he killed. I started to send him to the ends of the world to grab me some apples from a garden. He did that, and what the hell? I mean, how can a single dude do all that? The point is, I was running out of ideas, and as you approach a door at the end of the hallway, and so I just threw out the wildest idea I had at the moment, that was to go get Cerberus from the Hades and bring him to the palace. And he did. And then he left the dog here. He opens the door, and there's a vast dining hall, or at least that was the idea, because all the tables are destroyed. There's claw marks everywhere, and there's a strange scent of wet dog going there. And more noticeable, there's also a giant three-headed dog in the room with a tail that is actually a snake. And the dog is playing with a statue, like, you know how dogs are playing when they're basically on the hunt and lifting the tail and wiggling the tail and throwing the poets at the statues like that. And he's just playing and running around the hall. And so the king keeps speaking, and so he had plans to bring the dog back. I asked him to do that, and he told me, yes, I just go take care of some things and return here. And I'm sure that bars will change that. Eventually he did take the dog back without any pause in the middle, but there was a pause in the middle, and he died in that pause. And now I have a problem that needs addressing here. So can you please take the dog back to Hades? I really appreciate that.
Well, I'm not a learned man, but pretty sure that the paperwork we just signed means that this is now our problem.
Yeah, I'm asking because, you know, it's good manners, but you signed for that.
No, I understand. How do we get? I mean, I know obviously in broad strokes how one gets to Hades. I am a bit low on Obolts right now, but any handy portals nearby that don't involve me?
I mean,
dying?
you can always get to Hades if you throw yourself out of the palace and you throw yourself from the Acropolis and fall for enough, but that won't take the dog there.
So if that's all we have to do, why don't we just take Cerberus and throw him off the top of the Acropolis to take him back to Hades?
I think that would make the dog angry, to be honest, more than because it's a big dog, and it's
just throw
probably
a bone off the side, right? It's like, here you go, Cerby, you just go get it, fetch.
Well,
he might survive the fall.
You can try that. I won't stop you. You'll try your things. I've tried to send my honor guard against him, and the chaplain is still recovering from that experience. You do your thing, whatever. I just don't want the dog to be here and not to return, because we also try to take the dog up the road and leave, and they just returned here. So that was a problem. I know there's a portal to Edis not far. I mean, in heroic terms, it's not far from here. It's past the woods.
Oh no, it's just outside of town. It's too far.
Well,
Okay,
not quite there, but the woods of Thessaly, you should be able to find the nearest passage to Hades, and you should. Essentially, the problem is to take the dog there, and I don't want the gods to be angry at me because I know the dogs belongs to a certain married couple from the underworld, and they would be angry. So I advise you to go speak with the gods. We have a temple out here with several statues of the gods that you can intercede with and get some guidance. I just don't want the dog here anymore, please. This isn't my house anymore. It's the dogs.
No, I've heard that's what happens.
Okay, I think we can take the dog home. I think that is something that is doable. Just have a big enough leash and just.
Oh, absolutely. I've got something. I would like to use bigger on the inside and pull from my bag a 3-collared leash.
Very specific, but
a 3-collared leash. And just say to Cerberus, walkies.
Oh gosh.
Okay. You probably have the only 3-collared leash in existence because the market for that is really small. It's for one dog in existence. But Cerberus hears you, and he turns around with his 3 tongues out of the mouth, and he just rushes towards you. And this is a huge dog who runs on scale 4 for when when we talk about game terms, to be honest.
Not a dog, this is a mountain.
He breaks 3 columns as he walks. The ground cracks under his weight, but he just arrives next to you and lowers and has himself leashed like that.
Oh, he's a good boy, and a good boy, and a good boy. I'm scratching behind the ear.
You're scratching the dog. Oh, very nice. Because you're probably gonna need to make some rolls to control the dog along the way, and so these will count as an enhancement. Okay.
Is the king still with us?
The king is as Cerberus moved closer, the king equally moved backwards. He's in the hallway.
So I would turn to him. So what's the quickest way out that doesn't involve punching a hole through the wall?
We can open. We used to have a large door in the back to have our guests enter the dining room. You can exit from there. We just barricaded it from the outside so the dog wouldn't notice it. I can have you open for you.
I'm pretty sure you don't want to just gesture at the broken columns, doing that kind of all through your really quite lovely house.
Mm-hmm. You do make the gesture of broken columns there. You mimic the gesture of broken columns.
Oh, I gesture to them. Sorry.
Okay.
Just trying.
Just threaten them. It's okay. It'll.
No, I'm implying that
nice
this is obviously going to happen.
Would be a shame
if someone just broke it.
I'm asking if you're mimic any gesture of distraction because you have 3 ads paying attention to you at the moment. It's up to you to answer. Okay.
And if fact, sorry, just give me a second to make a quick decision roll for myself.
It's fair.
Yeah, I'm absolutely not smart enough to hide my gestures. So Cerberus can be following whatever hand movements I'm making.
Oh dear.
Okay. The dog will just strike at the wall and open an opening enough for him to pass through without any problem.
No, never mind. The problem appears to have solved itself.
The king just looks. The king is looking at his feet like that, and he's trying to cry. Please take the dog out.
Just took too long.
I've made a mistake there.
I wanted
should have
the
never
dog,
asked.
and now I'm stuck with it. It was your mother's dog. But okay, so up we
Okay.
go.
Out of the palace, from an entrance you just created, which will probably be turned into a lounge or a loft for the palace, an open space.
Mhm.
You do see there's in the distance there's an open temple of those ones that are used sometimes to gaze at the stars as you do rites and all that. That is the temple where King Eurystheus mentioned you can intercede with the gods and discuss what to do, which is a not mandatory step for you at the moment, but it's something you might want to do.
Yeah, as we're leaving and we can see the temple. Look, I'll be honest, I'm not on the best terms with the gods. This gesturing to the fact that, again, I'm basically just a walking statue. This was I guess, a slight act of blasphemy. Well, punishment for a slight act of blasphemy against a monster cursed by the gods. So I'm not entirely sure how talking to them would go down, all things considered. However, I can just stand really still and hold the leash if you do want to talk to the gods for help.
It's not really a want. It's well, it's a snake. She can't gesture, but
She's got a tail.
wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. I think it is a good idea to talk to the gods. However, our relationships are, because we don't want to upset the king and queen of the underworld. So why don't we go through the process of entreating them so we can figure out how to do this without getting stuck in Hades? Because it sounds like just dropping Cerberus off at the mouth and saying go home or throwing a ball will result in him coming back.
Well,
or just walk. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, well, I don't mind going to speak to them. One day when I grow up, I would like to be a god. That would be awesome. But don't tell them I'm gunning for their jobs. But yeah, networking's always good. So,
Careful, Zeus might hear you.
I think I'm a bit not quite human enough for him. He really prefers them entirely mortal. So
Ish.
Yeah, he basically dips in anything he finds interesting. He's just
If it moves.
Zeus is Omni. We know Zeus is Omni.
well.
Indulging in strange kinks. Yes, that is definitely Zeus. So we should entreat the gods. And if I have people willing to be hands, we can make the offerings and stuff like that.
I have hands. I can help.
Yes.
You're very expressive with the tail, like the snake in the Robin Hood Disney movie.
Yeah, I was like, thinking exactly of that.
With her cape that she cannot put on herself, but once it's on, it's just on.
Okay. You do move towards this little circular temple, which is a vast circular space surrounded by columns with several statues of several gods present, each with a platform in front of the fierce statue, which depicts all the gods like the fittingly Platonic ideal of them in the Greek mythology. You have a good bunch of gods here, to be honest. We didn't went with the old Greek pantheon because we also have a quest to do, but you can here interact with the three big brothers, so Zeus, Poseidon, and Hades as well, of course. Also Hera is here, Dionysus is here, also Ares and Artemis. It's up to you we want to speak with. If you want to speak with everyone, it's an option. if you want to just do your thing there. I assume that Bray will stay out of the temple itself and try to get a hold on Cerberus and for the time being.
Yeah, I'd fish something out of like my travel pouch as an offering, because I'm still like asking for the help, but I'm staying well out of the temple itself.
Okay, if at any point you want to talk with a god or interact, just tell me and we'll have you join the scene without any trouble.
But yeah, I think the one that makes the most sense is actually talking to Hades. It's like, yo, I have your dog.
Mm.
Can you pick him up?
Where can we drop him off, and how can we negotiate daycare prices?
Mhm.
Okay.
Take up the tab with Hera, please. But yeah,
Talking with Elise, okay. So you walk to the statue of this tall man wearing with an helmet in his hand and a bifork in the other, which are the traditional artifacts of Hades. And unlike Zeus and Poseidon, it doesn't have quite the impressive beard, even in marble here, but and he seems more dour and more emotionally controlled than the others here at the moment. You step on the platform, and just as you do so, the plate lightens up, and so does the statue in a faint purple light. And you hear a thundering voice in your head coming. Yes, Hades here. Hades speaking. You're talking with the king of the underworld.
We would like to press 1 for inquiries about escaped souls. Is a soul? Would it count as a soul? He's not a soul, is he?
he's a dog.
He's a dog.
Yeah, this isn't an automata call. You're speaking with me right away, so you don't have to press
it's not. Oh, okay then. Hello. It was a pleasure to make your acquaintance. How have you been?
A little bit dead, chilling. It's not the most fun place in the world, to be honest. Everyone is like dead. So the atmosphere is not fun.
Oh, see, I thought you'd be the life of the party, but well, okay, we can move on. Have you noticed your dog is missing?
Yes, I did. It wasn't pleasant, to be honest. I'm still quite enraged about that. I was thinking to, I don't know, send an earthquake or two to Athens or Thebes, but just for the sake of it, even if I'm not sure if they're involved or not. But we're in doubt to send an earthquake to Thebes. It just goes well with the place, or a plague or two, probably. And,
they probably have it coming anyway. We think we found your dog. Can you describe him to us so that we can be sure that we found the right owner?
Yes, he's a dog born out of Echidna and Typhon. Is bigger than the average nobleman's house. He likes to eat more of not the chew. He prefers the stuff you buy at the market. He prefers to eat that. Or lacking that, he also doesn't mind eating the people that try to escape from the underworld. He makes do with whatever. And also, this could be important. He happens to have 3 heads.
That exactly matches the dog that we found. I think we found your dog. Can we?
Oh.
Would it be possible for us to bring him back to you? Would that be useful for you?
I'm sure my wife and I would certainly appreciate that. Yes. So leave me your name and make sure that the people at the gate will have you pass without trouble.
Okay, I'm Zephys, and I'm coming with Cilia and Bray. And do we have to be dead to get in? Is that a prerequisite, or can we not be dead?
I mean, usually it's something I ask out of people because honestly, there's people who try to come and go like it's nothing between Hercules and also that guy Orpheus tried to do a trick on me, which I don't much appreciate it, but it was too much of an idiot to got anything out of that, and he couldn't not look back to save her life. But no, I think that in this case we can make an exception since you asked.
Oh, that is wonderful. Are there directions that we can use without going through the death way? I mean, like, is it turn right at the tree and left at the rock and then into the flaming pits of hell, or?
Oh no, you see, we organize things in a way that kind of fucks up the ways of reality. So basically, anytime you enter, no matter where you enter, you get to the lobby, to the same lobby with Charon works, no matter what, no matter the point you get in.
Okay, and again, is there an entrance to the lobby near where we are at the moment, or will we have to travel?
Let me check on the machine where you're calling from. Well, yes, there's one past the woods of Thessaly, which should be open. You probably meet some nuisance and troubles in the woods, but it's part of the job, part of the sagas and the whole thing.
Okay, excellent. Thank you. We will be there as soon as we can be there.
Okay. It's been lovely speaking to you.
It has been. We'll speak to you soon. Okay, love you.
Okay.
Bye.
Edith turned out to be more chill than other depictions.
Yeah, isn't he nice?
Okay. So Edith, as one might have expected, is very happy to have his dog back and is happy to sponsor the idea to take the dog home. Other gods might offer alternatives to this, but you're not required to talk to them. You're not required to talk to Dionysus if you don't want to for make an example.
Well,
I think Zephys is happy with Hades.
Yeah, definitely. I mean,
Yeah.
there's always going to be dead people, so that's a good god to be in with.
Yeah, I think just talking to the owner and taking the dog home is the easiest way, because I don't want to piss off the god of death. That's kind of like a bad move.
Mm-hmm.
And it's his dog, so.
Plus, this way, you're going to get to see a three-headed good boy when you die.
Yes. So Zephys will sweep out of the temple and shout, "Great success! We're taking you home. Who's a good boy? And a good boy? And a good boy?"
Cerberus responds by just dropping 7 trees out of their place. Like it's nothing. And it's giving you some trouble with the leash right there. Right?
I love him. I love him so much.
I thought about stopping him, trying to stop him, but then I realized I'm about the size of one of his teeth, and I really don't care that much.
That's fair.
It's fair.
Okay. So you leave a farmer disappointed for having his field destroyed and his hopes of survival ruined right there in the moment. No, my tree, my orchard is destroyed. And
he could eat you. Would that make it better?
No.
I mean, then starving wouldn't be a problem.
As we leave us to Zephys and Cillian. So should we just have a series of notes saying that we're on a quest from the king to return Hades, Cerberus to Hades as like a "we're sorry this dog destroyed your livelihood" kind of blanket statement.
You know, we could just tell them to take it up with the king, because we can't, we don't have any money to compensate them. And it's his fault, ultimately, that the dog is not in Hades. So
as we all kind of just turn around and yell, "Take it up with the king, it's his fault."
Yeah, he did. If he hadn't the sense.
I will.
To be fair, he probably traced the giant paw prints back to the palace.
Okay.
it's like, I don't know where else. It's like, I'm sorry, this is my giant. This isn't my giant dog. It's just my giant problem. I'm sorry.
That's a shirt for a dog sitter, to be honest. We'll make it. We'll ask Onyx Puff to produce those and try to sell them as marketing for Cyclops Cave once the book is open.
I mean, it's Cyclops Cave and Scion. It's a 2-product investment.
We'll make a note about that. In Scion, Cerberus will be a creature with likely lots of dots. In Cyclops Cave, it's this. Both are valid methods to have Cerberus in your games. Okay. As you exit Tyrant and you find yourself into the open field, and I'm gonna ask you who of you is keeping the dog's leash at the moment?
I'll hold it.
Yeah, it's just like Celia doesn't have hands, and she, I don't know what she would do if it's like, Celia, take this, and
It'd be the sock puppet just holding on to it.
like this will only end in tears.
Okay, you're in the open fields and the grassy hills of a very Studio Ghibli movie just set in Greece for this moment of your adventure, and we have Zephys kindly roll athletics plus might for us.
Okay.
Opposed to Cerberus dice pool and scale 4 for physical rolls.
Okay. I got 110, so that's two successes.
I rolled very badly because I rolled just 2 successes, but they are 2 10s, and the 4 scale of difference there, I think it adds 8 successes for just Cerberus.
And just 2 for me.
Okay. No, your scale 1, so it's 6. It's 8 for Cerberus total. You see, as you in the open field, the dog just feels happy. He starts to bounce around the air. You bounce with him. Just when he jumps around for the 8 of a small house, basically, and you follow on the leash like that. And before you have the time to crash into the ground, before of the kinetic force there, he jumps again. So you're just doing that. You see your friends disappear in the sky as the dogs goes forward for around 80 to 100 meters, basically.
Just floating along in the background.
Yes.
Whee! Okay. Yeah.
Do you want to
that's
lift?
a thing.
You find yourself dragged to the ground, a little bit tired by just holding to the leash, Zephys, but you're okay. In the end, you're not damaged. As for the others, you might want to persuade the dog to behave a little bit, because he's a big happy puppy running in the fields now at the moment.
Okay, well, yeah, let's see if I've got anything I can use for that.
I think persuasion plus presence can work in this case. Survival can also work because you're dealing with an animal, so that accounts for it.
No, we'll go with persuasion, because
Okay.
we have some of that.
Persuade the doggo. Yeah, none of my well, no, I'm not going to be big enough even if I do shifting masks. So, yeah.
I got a 10, and a 9.
It's a good success. It's a total of 5.
Ooh. I like these guys.
Oh yeah.
Okay. And what do you tell to our big dog there?
I suppose we could just try heal.
Sit or heal, yeah.
Heal. Heal will work.
Okay. He does stop and turns around. And you let the leash go other ways. You're not flinged around the dog like that. And he sits in there, cracks in the ground as well again, and wiggles the snake tail, and we starts to spew venom around the place. And where the venom hits the grass, it burns in a sort of dark red, black flame, which speaks of the underworld, and a couple of ghosts emerge for the flames and escape into the world.
Oh, just tell him he's a good boy again. Well done. Good job.
I'm just jogging over, just under my breath. It's the king's fault. It's the if I see the farmer. What if it's the same farmer? Oh, he's going to kill us. He's going to kill us. We're not going to get a 4 snakes worth of gold. It's going to cost more than that to Oh.
It's all right. It's all right. He's a good dog. I think we'll have a friend after this, and that will be worth more than gold.
I just look at Zephyrus. I'm sorry, what now?
You know how the real treasure were the friends we made along the way. And all
It's
the
almost like
renown
the
we got.
truest adventure is home.
No, the real treasure is treasure. That's why it's called treasure.
You've got a point. You've got a point there.
Okay, good. Glad to clear that one up.
True. Friendship has yet to pay the bills. So
I don't think any of us have friendship is magic, but that's one of our tropes. So
yeah, no, there's no dreamer here, and so the chances of that being here lower.
yeah.
Well,
So
you managed to calm down our dog a little bit for the field, so you managed to go forward without having to reach up a fleeing dog or anything like that. So for the time being, you go through the path you had in the vague direction of the forest of Thessaly, that you know there's a passage to others in there somewhere, to be honest, which is your best bet for the parameters you are working with right now.
slither, yeah.
Okay, you do stop at some places because sometimes Cerberus notices here and there perhaps there's a cow and he's hungry, so he eats a cow on the place. Other times he does what dogs do when you take them on a walk. So there's some
Inconveniences.
yes, inconveniences that permanently poison a place overground.
Scorched earth.
Scorched earth like that. But as you move forward, and without too many inconveniences, or at least nothing that doesn't inconvenience the plebeians of our quest, which aren't exactly your problem at the moment. That they are collateral damage of the quest, which for Greek standards they're doing still doing very well, to be honest. For Greek standards of myths against the common people.
Mm.
At a certain point, you start to pass through, come in the sight of some rocky hills, and you're not in an open field anymore, and so you find yourself having to pass through a passage between two rocky hills. There's a sort of bottleneck point where you do have to pass in there. And it's sort of a little too small for Cerberus. He will have to be very careful of how he moves in there. He seems a little bit nervous at the idea. He's growling a bit, which is stereophonic growling because free ads are growling, of course.
Mhm.
Okay, I'll see if I can encourage him to go through with some. You can do it. That's a good boy. Come on then, this way. You've got it.
This will be a command plus presence, so you get a +2 announcement because you're interacting with Cerberus well so far. So like in, I think it was, oh, I don't remember that game where you're a lady escaping from maniacs with a dog right next to you. I don't remember the title, but you do happen to create a bond with the dog into that as well. Deadly Grounds, maybe.
Oh, wow.
Ooh.
Is that a good wow or a bad
good-
wow? We
a-
have rewrites.
A good wow. I mean, Kim, you are familiar with my rolling.
Yeah.
I got 3 9s and a 10.
Oh, nice.
5.
I feel, yeah. This is not usual for me.
Those dice are going on a throne.
How did you react to success on this scale?
Apparently have a breakdown because it's like, oh no,
Oh no.
you've exceeded my expectations, dice. What shall I do?
Okay. So you have Cerberus moving forward. At a certain point, from a rocky plateau above the hills, appears a young man with blonde hair and which match well is cold ice, ice, and he appears upon this plateau, rocky plateau, from the passage you're walking in, and say, "Halt, you knaves! It is me, the hero who will slain this terrible beast and garner the honor of getting the world rid of this monster where even the great Hercules couldn't."
Okay.
Stop.
Absolutely
things.
no.
I don't know what a knave is, but I'm pretty sure I'm not one of them. And 2, I mean, sure, you can kill the god of the underworld's dog, but then you've got to meet that dog when you die, and the god of the underworld and his wife. And really, if you keep going with this ludicrous charade of being a hero, that might be a sooner rather than later thing.
Please do roll. I think persuasion. Would you call this manipulation or presence? It feels more manipulation.
No difference to me at all. They're the same. I was just checking to see if I had any quips to fit in there, but I don't. So this is not going to go well. Oh, right. That's a solid 1 success.
Okay, we'll roll for our yet unnamed hero at the moment.
Oh, this will be.
Okay. He says, he looks at you, values you from head to toe, again, and again, and again. He say, "Ha! It is foolish of you to think that me, the great Wanabistocles, will find himself into the depths of the underworld and not dining with the gods themselves once my times come. I will become the greatest hero that Greece has ever seen, and so such trifling matters won't disturb me at all. Now leave the dog and let me be the monster slayer that I long to be before I decide that my wrath is posing a little because he's working on the words there to be fittingly dramatic.
How
You recognize that he prepared all the dialogue he wanted to. Be gone, or I'll punch you as well.
how
This is not going to go
how
well.
tightly is Zephyrus holding the leash?
Not very. at this point, because we don't want to spook the dog.
So my plan, and I imagine that there's some familiarity between us as we have responded to this quest together. I have on like a catapult as one of my tropes. My plan is just to throw a boulder next to this wannabe hero and just say fetch. But I also don't want like Zephyr to have her arm wrenched off.
No, it's fine. I want to be dragged off.
So that is a plan. I had a couple other things I was thinking of, but like what I was thinking is that that you could throw Cilia, and then Cilia can trigger shifting masks, and then all of a sudden she's a scale 2 Hydra.
Yeah, I was going to suggest that as a backup, but I was like, do I go with the boulder idea first? Because
hey, you can yeet Cilia. That's why I wrote that power, so specifically to yeet your allies.
No, I get it. I was testing the waters with the fetch first. But yeah, if you're happy for me to yeet Cilia, I will absolutely yeet Cilia at the wannabe hero.
If I'm not mistaken, shifting masks allows you to take the scale of a creature of up to 2, but not for physical.
Yeah, so it'd have to be questionable size, I think, because it's like.
Yeah, that's the one for the getting big as
yeah.
physical.
So yeah.
But you can turn into something else and do scare him with a improved social or mental scale in case.
Yeah.
Or you can do with the plan Brian came up with. Up to you. I'm not gonna indicate anything. Just setting up the terms there. Yeah. I'm sure that it will be a fun mess no matter what.
But yeah, well, go ahead and yeet Cilia, and she'll trigger questionable size. Either way, it's still like, oh my god, but questionable size means she gets to be pretty big.
Okay. Yeah, I'll right. I'm just gonna send our spoke serpent up to you to negotiate the terms for our possible surrender, and I just reach down and throw like a javelin.
You have like in cartoons where the snakes become rigid like a weapon.
Oh, it's almost certainly like it's not even a puppet at this point. It's just a foam mock-up of a snake. Would you like me to roll anything for that?
No, because the tropes allows you to do that without any trouble, especially if you're earning a puppet, if I remember correctly.
It just says no penalties, actually. And does in fact say they land safely on a success. So it implies a roll.
Yes. Athletics plus might would be the one then. There's a cinematic that does what I was thinking of.
I got dice trapped under my splint.
Oh no.
Oh, holy heck. Okay.
Okay.
Did you just kill her? Did you just whack me?
It depends how benevolent Michele is feeling. So I've got 1 normal success, 1 enhancement, and then 3 10s.
Oh.
Okay.
I took the scoundrel trademark that gives me enhancement on athletics. That's where it came from. So if my maths are correct, that's 8 successes.
Ooh.
Yes. So I'm gonna ask him what her intentions with Wanabistocles were there. You wanted to scare him, to hurt him, and we're gonna evaluate the result of the roll on that intention.
So so killing the hero means that we stop all desires to kill Cerberus and piss off this, but turning into a scale 3 creature means that he definitely won't. So, but if she goes to scale 3 as a Hydra, then even if it doesn't scare him away, it still causes a problem for him because.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you what happens then, thanks to the Ryan's 8 successes, and you'll be free to tell me what you decide to do if you decide to activate any tropes or anything like that. Okay.
Right.
Okay, so you basically see this rock person, sort of statue, inhuman man who was turned into an inhuman by virtue of a wink from a Gordon, who grabs a snake, who takes the perfect shape of a spear, and in a demonstration of Olympic prowess that would make any Greek person of the age and the setting proud, it throws at you at one Abistocles with probably more strength than he planned to gather, at which you'll see the snake darting through the air, and there's a white ring opening up around you as you break the barrier of sound at a certain point. And you essentially do what a certain boy happened to do in Dragon Ball when he punched through an evil king chest like it was nothing. You pierce through one Abistocles and destroy his chest, leaving a snake-shaped hole in the middle and fly quite far, to be honest. And they're probably gonna need to recover you at some point once you land, at which you land safely thanks to the trope. One of Abistocles just smiles, looks at the giant hole into his chest, looks at the sky, and then just drops dead on the rocky plateau where he is. 8 successes is a lot, and he
All right,
didn't have strong traits there. He is one Abistocles, so it was pretty big.
Death by snake puppet.
This is the
Okay,
first
so
time I've killed someone with a party member.
All right, so I don't need to. All right, that part one satisfied the rest. All right, cool. She won't change size or anything because she doesn't need to because he's already dead.
You hear a distant hiss of a snake going into the sky and falling far away.
I regret nothing.
To Zephyr's, I didn't. That went differently in my head.
That's totally not how I saw this going. But that works so great.
I'll go and fetch Celia.
Good thing that you mentioned that, because you just throw something with a giant dog which was very attentive nearby you. So you see,
and I said fetch as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I planned to do this before you said so, but now you said fetch, so it's more. You see Cerberus dart and return after a couple of minutes having destroyed the path on in front of him with a snake into one of his heads, of his mouth. Sorry.
I think that warrants some head scritches and pats and some good boys.
I'm okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't. There was less chest there than I was expecting. I thought you just kind of like bounce off and then in his face, not through his chest.
Tail flick. It works. He can't. He didn't hurt Cerberus. He didn't hurt any of us, and we have one less hero to deal with.
I'm sure he'll be waiting for us when we get there. So we might have something to say. At least he can report to Hades and say they're on their way. So we've got that going for us.
Should we check that he's got enough money for the ferryman? Because if he doesn't, he's going to be standing on the banks of the river for quite a while, thinking.
Oh, that's a good one.
He was almost at like. Let's be honest. If he had managed to, and he probably wouldn't have done, but if he had managed to slay Cerberus, that would have been one Hades of a of a feat for an aspiring hero, and to be taken down by a snake. I mean, Celia, I respect you, obviously, but it's not. Maybe it's not a hero-worthy death.
Oh, well, if he didn't go around bullying people, then maybe
Actually, no.
it would be
It'd
a
be
proper...
different if I was in my real form, but he got slayed by a Hydra. That's death worthy, you know?
Although Zephyrus makes a good point. Maybe he should stay on the riverbank for quite some time thinking about what he did, considering his life choices. This is
Poor
a good
life
boy, good boy,
choices.
good boy.
Cerberus
Not
is just
all
there,
monsters.
wiggling happily.
Could you put me down?
He just
Oh, yeah,
drops
drop
you.
it.
You poof on the floor like that.
The snake is just kind of like spazzing out until the handlers switch it out for the puppet. And then a calm snake slithers up onto someone's shoulder or arm. All right, I'm okay. I'm okay. All right, let's get the good boy home. Right.
Okay, if you want to check on one Abisto class, what's left of one Abisto class and determine if you'll wait at the banks of River Styx, you can do that without any trouble. Or you can keep going. I'll have
We can
you...
rifle through his stuff. That's totally cool.
Mhm.
It's just
Find his
gonna
secrets.
rot. So
Okay. He has a little satchel, a little bag like that, because he was traveling light, because it's not cool for heroes to be just too burdened with stuff. And you find a sort of an autobiography written before anything important can happen in there, which is why am I so cool? Oh no, please don't tell me. I just know that I am. It's a title which we'll find some trouble for publication, to be honest. And the greatest part of the autobiography, it's some words in there, and the most of the pages are covered in the the kind of bad anime drawings a 12-year-old would make, with sparkles of himself, or with him with wings and armors, and a person that should be him probably, but it's just bad. There's no sense of perspective there, to be honest.
You know, the more I learn about this individual, the less I care. He just, this is try hard. Either do it or don't. Don't want people to see you doing it.
He also had a spear that he was holding, and he's still clinging to through rigor mortis, to be honest. And as for the rest, no money to speak of, just some pre-signed autograph. That's all. He was a really, really, really sad young man who probably listened to the wrong podcasts. So
they didn't talk about this part where someone yeets a snake through me.
This wasn't covered in Heroing 101. Unless anyone stops me, what I would do is I'd wrench the spear free and then use it to pin all of the autobiography and all of the autographs to like the path, so that if anyone does chance upon this way, they at least find that.
Okay.
I will work on turning this into a tale of caution.
Don't be rude. Or try to kill other people's pets is the true story. Get John Wicked by a snake.
Always beware flying snakes.
Yes, as Samuel Jackson will state around 2,000 years from the age of your adventure, a bit more probably. Flying snakes aren't good.
No, okay. Watch that again.
Beware the snake.
After an encounter with, we'll call him an individual because saying more is probably overselling the guy.
He tried.
He certainly did. You move forward, and things are starting to get the open fields past to the hills, and now the hills are giving you in that sort of territory where there are some trees here and there. It's not quite woods. You're getting into a thicker place, which is the space between the hills and the woods, from what you do recall from that. There's some lakes here and there, a bit of mountains with some little rivers coming, and you do recognize this area is a place where there's plenty of villages. You've heard of that. All the people that don't quite live in the forest, because the forest is known to be the house of creatures and monsters, and also there's an open passage to Hades that causes trouble sometimes. You come in sight of a village, which is very noticeable because there's thick columns of smoke coming up from the village, as if there's a fire going on and something that's destroying the village itself.
Oh no.
You do go to check this, or you keep going?
I think we should go have a look.
Yeah, we should definitely. And if all else fails, then we'll have enough charcoal to write.
That's true.
I about to say one of you, and then realize one of you is a snake. Because I figured that if we write from sorry, one sec, check my notes. King Eurystheus to Hades, sorry, on the side of the dog, people will know that we're on a quest from the king for a start, and also it might go better for us.
I think we're doing okay, but charcoal's always useful. Yeah, and if we go and help out in this village, there might be more treasure, or there might be more friends. Depends which you think is.
You know, it's kind of gross, but we do have a giant dog, and there's fire.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I understand.
It's super gross, but it is the fastest way.
Yeah, he is carrying a lot of fluids.
Yeah, I had to stop myself from asking how much he'd been drinking along the walk. So thank you for jumping on that, grenade, Kim.
Yeah, it's super gross, but it is a way to deal with the fire without having to do like a bucket.
I mean, he's a very big dog, and he could probably do a lot of digging, and you can put fires out with
He's a scale 4 dog.
That's not digging. That's cave form. That's just terraforming.
I'm sure he could dig a fire break. That wouldn't be too bad.
Just lie on the fire.
I think that using Cerberus to help fight the fire would improve his efforts.
That's the most diplomatic way I've ever.
You did this, Michele. This is your fault.
Oh, I crafted the adventure for you in ways that you don't know yet.
It's like, okay, what sort of chaos are they going to instill in my game this time?
Yeah. We're still trying to be heroes, and we need stories if that's going to go our way.
Okay, then you move towards this unnamed village, and you see people fleeing from them. So not flying, which isn't still a possibility, but fleeing from there. There's a kid going fleeing away from the town. He comes inside of your group with Cerberus there. And this goes another way.
Legit.
Don't pay attention to the mean human. Pat, pat, pat.
There's essentially a crowd of people who do 90 degrees turn when they see you. They go in a straight line from the town, and they see the dog and just go take a very precise 90s
Nope.
degree. You see that Cerberus is growing restless, very sort of aggressive here, is starting to pounce and to growl a bit, and you don't know what's in that town, but there's people fleeing nearby that you can reasonably ask to, unless you want to check. And Cerberus is pulling quite heavily right now. It's not going yet, but you can feel that.
I'm thinking one of us should go and check. I don't think we're going to get much from these villagers because they won't even get close to Cerberus, but
Can I use?
Well, I can imagine how this looks. It's like, excuse me, could you take a moment to talk to, you know?
They look down at the snake. One faints right there.
Could I use cunning linguist to try and ask Cerberus, what is it, boy? What is it? What's going on, boy?
That's fair.
I can use it with strange and foreign speakers and use it for observing body language, communicating and translating.
Okay, I think that that will be an empathy plus composure roll.
Empathy plus composure, that's 5.
It's still difficult because we made Cerberus an animal in this movie, so he's really an animal here. There are tropes to work around that, but
this
one works, but helps you, but it's not quite perfect, so it's a little bit difficult still.
I'm going to use a quip as well. I'm going to go, give me a minute, just a minute, and see what we can do. What is it, boy?
Yeah, it's like
Timmy
gift of
put down
gab
a well.
transcends language barriers and species. Once you understand the context, is your empathy and persuasion penalties with strange and foreign speakers. Yeah.
Yes, but is because what I'm saying is not talking any language, is barking. So it's a matter of that there. How many successes, Claire?
4.
Oh, 4. 4, it's quite enough to pass the difficulty 2 I had in mind. And basically, you see Zephys understand the body language of this huge dog in a way that speaks very clearly to you the universal language of cat.
There's a cat here.
There's what Cerberus understands as a cat, and at that he expresses the idea to you, and at the point he goes forward running toward that.
Ooh, he says there's a cat, I think. I imagine it's a very fiery cat.
Well, we do have a dog, so
he seems to know where he's going. So should we follow him?
So Cerberus is just gone at this point. You're hearing very loud barks, the kind that break the eardrums of people, and growls and stuff. And you see pieces of wood flying from the village into the sky. There's something happening in there.
We probably should deal with that.
Yeah, let's follow the trail of destruction and see where it leads us.
Just consult the king. He'll pay for everything. I promise.
People, you didn't give a good impression, so people are just fleeing and they're not sharing information. As you move forward to the village, of what's left of the village, you see a certain site in the middle of it. You see Cerberus, of course, but you also see another creature of slightly smaller size than your dog, but still big enough to tower above you whole. There's this creature with a snake for a tail as well, and a certain goat head from his back, and a big lion face as main head. You have found a chimera, which is cat enough for Cerberus to trigger dog instincts. And you hear Cerberus barking and the chimera going, and with all the cacophony of 6 heads going here and 7 if we count Cerberus' snake tail, and they're just arguing and destroying stuff and having a very cat dog moment here. And because we're not buying Maiwa, we can still have fun with those.
Well, that's a problem.
Yes.
Well, do we want to bully the chimera or do we want to?
Yeah, let's bully the chimera.
Oh, we do need the dog back, and I think as long as the chimera's here, the dog's just gonna be trying to play with. I hope it's playing. It looks like playing, and in the tones of someone who is trying to convince themselves.
Yeah, best friends. I told you, friendship. It's magic.
Yeah, they're playing in a way that the chimera is scale 3 and the Cerberus is scale 4. And as we don't have Cerberus in Cyclops' cave, but we do have a sidebar right after the chimera on how to make Cerberus based on the traits of the chimera there. So you have a total of scale 7 more working around the place, and so each blow there's a house disappearing into nothingness, or a man who gets yeeted into the sky and flying there. The chimera is spewing flames. Cerberus is barking with the strength of the underworld. It's a bit of a wasteland of a playground, but it's still a playground for a certain point of view.
Oh my goodness.
So
we could try getting their attention and just.
Do we want to throw another large creature into the mix? Because that would be. Cassilia will play.
Do you want to be re-yeeted?
No, you don't need to re-yeet. Re-yeet me. I can just do the thing.
I'll be honest, I feel very small right now, and I don't like it.
Yeah, it's only gonna get worse. I'm sorry.
And that's what I told you if you wanted to keep the trope, because I knew that this was coming, to be honest.
Yeah. So Cilia will slither down from people because changing your size while you're on top of your friend is not nice.
They're not your friend anymore.
So she is going to get bigger. So she's going to use questionable size.
Okay, which allows a puppet to either get smaller or once per story gets very big and reach scale 3 as well when it comes to physical rolls.
She is going to go to scale 3.
Okay, we are seeing all the effects of the movie. Well, we're spending a lot of CGI for the dog.
This is all the budget.
We're spending a lot of CGI on monsters here. And does Celia turn into a proper Hydra, or is just a very giant snake when
She'll turn into a proper Hydra.
Okay.
So now we have more heads.
How many? Hydra goes around up to 9 usually by myth, but I'll leave it to you how much you want to do. At least 3, it's fair if you're gonna have a Hydra, if you ask me.
Yeah, I think she'll go with 4 just because she wants to one up.
Okay. So we have a total of.
We have a kaiju fight.
Kaiju fight. We have a total of 10 heads, 11 if you count Cerberus' tail, which usually isn't count, and a total of scale 10 of physical in going on into this scene.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll leave the stage to you and your friends, because at this point we have a very impressive thing. And you see the Chimera, Cerberus turns to you and he recognizes you because, of course, he is a dog who traveled with you along along. He just wiggles a bit. The Chimera is just flabbergasted. Oh, well, it doesn't know what's going on. He was going on a proper monster rampage through a village, and suddenly something happening to the life of this poor Chimera.
Okay, you are causing problems. We need to get Cerberus home. So come with us or go away.
Okay, I'll say that your scale allows you to ignore any trouble. Your scale and your being a monster sort of cuts through any difficulties or limitations you have here because you're speaking heads to heads here as monsters. And also, technically speaking, everyone here is a spawn of Echidna and Typhon, so you're all family in a sense. So I think that you can make a command plus presence roll, or even a persuasion plus presence, without any complications or difficulties. And if you want to use a cinematic that can help you, like Common Bond is fitting here.
Yeah, I think using a cinematic because she has a presence 1. she has no persuasion. I was not intending her to be talking. But yeah, I'll take the 2 bond if it's all right for the
Yes.
common bond 2.
Okay.
Do it.
In our tradition of not resolving things through combat.
Okay, it's 2 rewrites less. If you pay 2 rewrites, you want to read it, or I can read it myself. I have it here if you want.
I was good. Yeah, I was gonna read it. Okay, so nameless minions aren't heartless unless they're skeletons. Appealing to their better nature is often a good tactic as charging forward with an axe. It may not always work, but negotiators who reveal something personal about themselves can often find social footing that helps them win over their adversaries. When you use the cinematic, tell a brief around 30 seconds long anecdote about your character that you think might appeal to the other characters. Then make an appropriate social roll, usually persuasion plus manipulation. For each success, a character in earshot nods or grunts in sympathy, and their attitude towards you improves by 2 shifts. If you fail to roll any successes, the rewrite cost is refunded.
That's the one rewrite effect.
Yeah.
I assume you get
Yeah,
the 2
2,
rewrites.
yeah.
Though.
If you pay 2 rewrites, each character affected by cinematic cannot cause you harm nor allow you harm to befall you. This doesn't mean you're safe. They can still tie you up and throw you in the dungeon if they decide they fear their boss more than they like you. So we're gonna use 2. Obviously, we are both monsters, and we have common parents, so maybe we don't need to fight one another right now at this moment. We can have another moment where I'm not in the middle of taking our wonderful friend Cerberus home because some hero pulled him out of the underworld. We can all go home today. Why not?
Okay. So let's say that it gives you a +2 announcement on the social roll to determine what the Chimera will do. But given you purchase the cinematic, no harm will happen. It's just to understand the consequences of the thing. So it's either command or persuasion plus presence.
Let's see. So she only has 1 die, so I will use my physical contact, no thank you, whip, so I can get a die, another die for this. Because I have a horrible pool for this.
Yes.
Unless I can use manipulation.
We can make it work. Yes, it's in the realm of the dice pool there. No doubt.
Okay, so that gives me four dice. So, all right, I have an 8 and a 9.
It's 2 successes, which with the help of the cinematic definitely convince the Chimera to leave the village. So let's say that Celia helped to deal with the Chimera, and I'll refer to Bray and Zephys because the cat is out. The dog would still like to chase the cat, so that's still something to deal with.
Okay, let's see if we can find something to redirect Cerberus. I will go back to bigger on the inside, and from my bag, I will pull out a really big bone, like a mammoth thigh bone sort of thing.
Okay.
Okay. Cerberus, treats!
The Cerberus turns around. You do throw the bone, right, for your own safety?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Where do you throw the bone, Claire? Because this will have consequences.
We'll throw it like on the ground, preferably at least 6 foot away from where we're stood.
Okay, you see this, our friendly giant dog who isn't red and isn't named Clifford, run through the bone and starts gnawing at it with 4 heads at the same time, which makes a short work of the bone, to be honest, though despite the size, but distracts Cerberus enough to have the Chimera leave, and the village is completely razed to the ground, but at least you got your dog back.
Mm-hmm. We'll pick up the leash and we'll get ready to, when Cerberus is finished eating and everyone is ready, we'll head back on our way.
Okay.
I can't think of anything to do with the fire, so
It's kind of burnt out now. I think.
No, nothing is burning anymore. There's nothing to burn, to be honest.
It's kind of we don't have to worry about the fire anymore.
it's not our problem.
Are you still really big?
Yes.
For the scene, yes.
He's like, did you get taller?
Yes.
You did something with your hair?
Yes,
It's
my
a
wondrous
new cloak.
scales.
A new cloak, yes.
The cloak's like a little hat. Yeah, okay. Well, that worked out. Let's go. So because she is big right now for the scene, she can actually give everyone else a ride for once, because she is a scale 3 creature right now. At least until she shrinks, and then it'll just be funny because she'll just be squished.
You haul up on Celia for a while and travel away from the empty place that you just visited. And so you have a ride on your Hydra friends, I assume either on the back or on one of the necks for either of you. Cerberus, of course, is throttling along up until the moment where just Celia shrinks immediately, like in a Willy Coyote thing, and you find yourself sitting up on a squished snake right away.
Oh no, I'm so sorry. Are you okay?
I'm fine.
We're gonna give you an injury for that, Kim, but also very bright because it was very fun.
Okay.
Just practice for having gold dropped on you 4 times.
Just depends what size she is when they do it.
Oh,
And from
right.
what height?
No, that's a very good point.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like do you want me to? We'd have to wait a day or something, and then like she can go. It's like, hello, I'm a size 3 creature. Give me this much gold.
This is the snake that signed the contract. This is still the snake that signed the contract.
And the contract now says that they cover you 3 or 4 times, depending on things, because they made the adjustments to that.
Yeah, but they didn't know that she could change size.
No, they did not.
There's just the lawyers get to work writing that clause.
They didn't. It's like Hydra. It's a snake. It's like, oh, that's what you think. All right. I'll mark down that I have an injury.
Okay, you the woods of Thessaly weren't that far from the area right now. You're now proceed after leaving the city of Tirint in the morning when you met the king. You spent a couple of days on the road, and you're entering around 1 p.m. into the woods, but it starts to get very dark and very foggy as you enter. It's no wonder why people do consider this to be an enchanted woods or haunted, as you would have it. And let me grab my notes here because, yeah. Okay. As you enter the woods, you do see that the path reaches just up to a point where it meets at crossroads, and there's a man with a lantern sitting right next to the crossroads there. It's a small man who appears to be grinning and smiling a lot, and seems something out of the kind of NPCs one would find into the Dark Souls games out of nowhere, and the small weird guys that you find there, to be honest.
Hi. Don't mind us. That's unsettling. And I kind of go like full blank face as I eyes dart up to the left as I'm like recalling obviously mentally rehearsed lines. We are on a mission for the king. If there is any damage to you or your property, please take it up with him.
The king, you say? Ha! I happen to know many kings. Oh, will you answer my riddles to know what I know about kings?
I turn to...
What do you know about kings?
Wouldn't you like to know?
I
might know a lot, or I might not. Oh, it's a mystery. It's a secret to everybody.
I like secrets.
This man is being totally unhelpful. Is the most obnoxious NPC without anything to say to you at this moment.
It's almost like Iron Boots.
No, in a little bit. Iron Boots was more helpful, to be honest. So, you say, if you go to the left, you go to the east. If you go to the right, you go to the west. What will you choose, and what will happen to you depending on what you do? Would you like to buy some herbs from me, or some dung pie as well?
Some herbs. What kind of herbs?
Oh no.
It's just no. Let's make Zephyr's roll here.
Okay.
Mysticism plus intellect roll would be quite honest.
Mysticism. Which one would be mysticism? Because I'm running off the standard.
Okay. There would be science in that case.
Okay. So science, mysticism, and which one?
Intellect.
Ooh.
Someone didn't get the fancy sheet for Cyclops game, but it's cool.
Okay. No.
No.
Failed that.
Okay.
Oh no.
Of all the rolls you could fail. Well, we'll add a rewrite to so we're back to 5 after having spent a couple. The man here says that this grass will help unlock your hidden potential and make your main look majestic and fluent.
Am I about to? Oh yeah, I'll buy into the MLM.
Oh no. Oh no, I only have 2 friends. How is this going to work?
Hey, hun, I've heard. Just,
Hey, maybe we can get Hades to buy into it, and then like
maybe we could.
there's a whole underworld and they're bored.
Okay, I'll get suckered into buying the herbs. No worries.
Okay. You can mark anywhere you want that you have a pouch of strange herbs from the weird guy in the foods.
Pouch of strange.
What could
Okay,
possibly
so-
go wrong?
Nothing ever. Nothing ever goes wrong. Everything turns out fine always. Which way do we want to go? Do we want to go? Do we want to go left? Do we want to go right? The east, the west?
Oh, he keeps repeating his lines. He's as if the director tried to put those very unhelpful Dark Soul NPCs you find in the outside of the hub would never tell you anything and just keep being cryptic and creepy like
Just
that,
be
to
creepy.
honest.
Okay. I got it. All you need to do is say this one line until they leave the scene. And there aren't any roadsides or anything.
No, there are a couple of paths, one each the one you came from, and there's a couple more, but he's being totally unhelpful. You perhaps can convince him to be helpful, but that would ask for some convincing from you. Yes, indeed, some persuasion. In any sense, the persuasion word can work, to be honest.
I'm really bad at persuasion. I'm just really good at being scary.
We're not a balanced party here. I
No.
think.
Uh,
But that's fun as well.
well, trying to find the right path is the thing, because there's a chance that even if we do convince him, he's not going to give us a straight answer. It'll be something bizarre, unless someone else wants to. Do you want to try it, Ray? Like, I have a presence of 1 and like, and I'm asleep right now.
In raw mechanics terms, that would be a 3 dice pool for me. Which I guess
You're breaking the illusion here, Brian. How dare you?
Yeah. But that's why I'm trying to think around the problem.
I could try pulling on my sage wisdom, something
know the way to
involving a
hell.
roll, and if I can remember any sort of stories or anything that can help out with this riddle, because I do have it is known, so
Yes.
as a
Absolutely.
trademark. So could I try and roll for working out which way would be the best way?
Yes, either humanities or mysticism again would work, and intellect again. Humanities is, you do have on the sheet no matter what.
Mysticism, intellect, that's 5. And it's a trademark, so is that 2 extra
Plus
dice?
two.
Or is that-
Yes, indeed, and you get directorial control if you get at least 1 success.
Okay. Use that, cross it off. It is known, but not by me. I know nothing.
Ooh,
It is
this
well
bad.
known. I got a lot of ones, and
Oh gosh.
Ooh.
and the only other thing I got was like a 7.
Not a single success despite all those dice, and a lot of ones, so that's a botch.
Ooh,
Yeah,
we're going the
That's
wrong
a
way.
botch.
there we go. That's how Claire
We'll
rolls.
add 2 rewrites to your dice pool. Okay, at this point where you have 7 rewrites, I will remind you that you have plenty of cinematics and magical effects, including very strong ones. But for now, Zephys is absolutely convinced that the right way to go right now, it's not left nor right, but you have to dig here to get into the underworld. Based on nothing. It's based on vibes. as an idea.
Let's see. So, what might be helpful?
I mean, divine intervention resolves any problem at hand.
Yeah, but that's our cover our butt, we're about to die sort of thing. But I was thinking maybe animal friends, so maybe the animals can tell us where to go.
Some squirrels or something.
Animal friends summons a lot of angry animals, but they don't help you.
Well, if
They
we want-
harry the targets. You'll summon a lot of friends who will perhaps make you digging, to be honest. You have a giant dog and a horde of squirrels, and they all dig. They dig well, quite well.
Mhm.
I do have a lamp. I picked the lamp
Oh.
as well as my trope.
Yes, and that allows you to summon a scale 1 thing to help you, not to make wishes, to be honest.
No, not to make wishes, but they might know the way.
We someone that knows the way to Hades.
I'm gonna awkwardly walk up to this creepy old guy in the woods. Do you see many people?
No, I'm very alone, to be honest.
Would you like to accompany us with our epic quest and then return to civilization where you may be rewarded, possibly, but you will definitely see people?
Oh, he seems very happy to be the old guy, old weird guy at the crossroads. So you can make a roll, but you have to persuade him with the idea. You get a +1 enhancement because you pose an idea for change to him, so he might be intrigued to give it a go. I think it will be a persuasion plus presence.
Yeah, that works for me. I'm just checking to see if I've got. No, I don't have any quips that would apply here or trademarks.
Even if they're inappropriate, you can always say them.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm having you use the tropes and the effects the way they are written, sorta, because I think changing things too much does deprive you a little bit of the challenge there. So if Animal Friends is to summon a lots of helpful animals, they can't indicate you the way straight away.
It's more that my quips are very intimidating, and that's not what I want to do with the crazy old guy in the woods, because he's just vibing his best life in the woods.
Yeah.
Happily, 3 successes.
Woo.
I set that at difficulty 3, which was difficult, but you met it. So that's a good result. In the meantime, Zephyr just instructed Cerberus to start digging, and you already have a trench worthy of a World War I platoon ready there, because there's dirt flying all around.
She's wearing a hard hat. She's got herself a clipboard.
But you do convince the weird guy, the weird creepy guy, to join you on your quest. And you see a screen at the bottom of the movie with creepy weird guy has joined your party.
Weird little musical trill.
Na, 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 na.
Nothing bad will happen.
So I continue. I was just thinking, like, yeah, sure, you've got the whole crossroads thing going on, and that is a tradition. You have been upholding a traditional staple of travel.
I've been at school for this. I studied 5 years to get to this place.
And you've done it so well. But consider, we are going to a portal to the underworld, which is an even more liminal threshold than a crossroads.
Ooh.
Perhaps I could be the weird, creepy guy at the portal there.
That is thinking with ambition and vision.
Yes, and so all those awful people at the weird, creepy guy school who didn't believe I could make it will have to see and stare in awe at me.
And I look around, like I'm obviously being conspiratorial for dramatic effect, but it depends if he has the social mood to pick up on that. But I lean forwards and say, we're heroes, but keep it on the down low. We're heroes, and that means that we can essentially promote you to this position. You are helping heroes on an epic quest to return. And I turn to look at the dog. Quite a large treasure, all things considered, to its rightful owner, which is an incredibly heroic deed.
I mean, my purpose in life is to be as unhelpful and as creepy as possible, so I'm torn here.
But one, what's more creepy than the portal to Hades? And two, imagine if people came up to you at the portal and went, "Is this portal to Hades?" And you said, "No."
You know what? I mean, okay, let's do this. The portal is on the right. You just go there. You don't mind the satyrs because we only have 15 minutes left, so we skip the encounter with the satyrs. But
thank you for being as unhelpful as you could possibly be. I've appreciated it. Sorry, no, I have not appreciated it.
okay. Yes, I like that. I see my name there associated with the portals to others. Weird, creepy guy. Guardian of Hades. I like the sound of that.
It's very prestigious
Hmm.
and ominous.
Yes. Well, let's go. He stands up from the place he's decided to sit for likely the first time in 20 years or
Oof.
something like that.
Ow.
The exact position. It creaks a little. It was in this very spider-like position we decided to take, of course, because once you decide to be a weird, creepy guy in a fantasy, you gotta commit to the bit, of course. So he just moves forward and leads you up to the way, which allows you to skip some moments that would be here if we had more time. But
we do
don't.
have until 1:30.
Oh yes, because we started at
We start-
5:30.
Yeah, we
And so
started at
it's-
1:30.
And so it's not up to 20. So my 20, you're 19.
Yeah, it's a 3-hour game.
Ooh. Okay, this is 3 hours and not 2:30 like yesterday. I'm making a little bit of confusion. Very nice. Thanks for the help there. Well, you're helpful. You're not our weird, creepy guy here. Okay, nice, because I think that this is a good moment to take then a small 5-10 minutes break, so we can recharge our bottles and all that stuff, and we return later to do a bit that I care about, and I'm very happy to do, and then see what happens to Cerberus and our heroes. See you in 5-10 minutes, everyone.
Whee.
Okay. So, with the help of our weird creepy guy, who has a name because I wrote a name for him, but I decided not to use it and just keep calling him weird creepy guy, you travel through the Thessaly forest without actually without the problems you'd expect to find here. There are no bandits attacking you, no monsters. It could be because you're traveling with a giant dog from hell that could be helping you, that could be a factor, which is not a privilege most heroes do have, to be honest.
The return journey will be sketchy.
But at some point, you do still encounter something blocking your path. Specifically, there's a village in the middle of the woods where there's a group of people moving toward you, which you notice because, well, not unlike you and honestly not unlike anyone, they have their own peculiarities, and the people who aren't a little bit strange are like wannabe class, and so screw them. It's better to be strange in a way or another. There's a bunch of satyrs, meaning people who share traits of goats and sheep and with horns and all of that. Satyrs from the depths of the woods that move toward you and with their weapons lifted and demand to speak with you, to be honest. Halt! Who are you here? And there's a satyr man speaking. A satyr man and a satyr woman come forward, and the satyr man just says, I'm not gonna ask you what the dog is because let's be honest, we all know who the dog is. So
Yeah, well, we found the dog and we're taking it home.
Yes, well, I can't allow that to happen. I'm Gargamones, I'm the chief of these satyrs. This is my sister, Lisa. Hi, says Lisa.
Hi.
And we happen to have made an agreement with a bounty hunter who wants to take the dog, to be honest.
That's really awkward. We made an agreement with the king who wants us to give the dog back.
An agreement with Hades to give his dog back. So that's not going to work for us.
Yes, that which I knew all along.
Yeah, you see, we have a problem here because I don't think this bounty hunter is one willing to let go her mark, and she's kind of taken up the village, and we don't have much choice on what to do with her. She's, you know, the kind of person that lets herself be listened no matter what. And the portal to Hades is through here. So you can see how we are having a situation here. And it's a problem.
So it's less an agreement, and I'm picking up more that you agreed to do this to protect yourselves and your village, yes?
No, Lisa goes,
Gotcha. Yeah, so the problem is that's a big dog. And our track record of going through villages without destroying them anyway is at this point, I'm not even going to mention it. All we can do is promise to try our best. Whereas if, in a hypothetical scenario, of course, someone tries to take the dog from us, and we have actually newfangled invention paperwork, but we've actually signed some paperwork to say that we'll take this dog. which was an experience that I will never forget. And we'll have to defend our claim up to this quest. I don't really care. What is this bounty hunter's name, by the way?
She's Benefica. It's her name.
Okay. Whatever Benefica wants to do, I really don't care. I'm promised 4 snakes worth of gold and an equal share. And then I turn to Cilia and Zephys, an equal share, yes?
Yes.
Yeah, as much
Good.
as I can carry.
Of 4 snakes worth of gold, which is a strange unit of measurement, I admit, but still. We would have to defend our claim to that. And now the trouble is, of course, we would have to be doing this in your village.
You think that perhaps leaving the dog with your handler here, there's now a weird little guy holding a leash of a giant dog, which is a weird juxtaposition, as you discuss thing, because see, you didn't met Benefica, but she's not the kind of person that takes a no for an answer. So you perhaps might want to discuss with her a little bit, because I don't want to say too much because I don't want to risk consequences, but you'll get the chance to see what I'm talking about.
No. And I bend down and there's a really hastily edited in sound effect of stone grinding on stone. It doesn't quite cover the squeak of the foam suit as it bends. And honestly, gesture to the handler. He's just taken a new posting, and we're trying to escort him to his place of work. I would take it as a great personal favor if you could ensure that he stays okay. I'm not sure it's good to look after the dog personally. He seems a bit, I don't want to say weak and scrawny, but I think Cilia, and I gesture to, the snake puppet, if she's going to take part in this conversation, or the snake if not, might have a better chance of holding Cerberus. But what
Yes.
the Hades? We have nothing to lose by talking to Benefica.
Okay, then let me show you the way.
Well.
The satyrs open up, the group opens, and they let you into this. Actually, it's a village in a dark forest, but that's just an aesthetic choice. You can be happy in a dark forest, just as you can be happy as an enchanted one. It's just a matter of expectation and your personal vibes, to be honest. So there's this village of satyrs. Who aren't the merry kind of satyrs, they're more the edgy kind, and they seem to be scared the hell out of the Hades house, no matter what, of this Benefica. You move, and there's the house of the chief of the village, who notably isn't Gargamones nor Lisa. The chief is missing, is the one who spoke with you. Who you understand as you move that Benefica made it her place right away, once she rolled into town. And the setter stops at the door and tell you, she's in there. Go ahead and best of luck.
I will knock resoundingly with my stony fist on the door.
Come in, you hear from the inside.
I will open the door.
Okay, this is very interesting because I wrote this adventure in this week before I didn't know the characters you'd play into this one. So things will be interesting because you open the door, and as you open up, you see as the door becomes more and more open, in the side you see a satyr put like this with a strange look on his face, and he's completely made of stone. And when you finish opening, there's a Gorgon lady playing with a whip and a knife, sitting on a throne or on the chair of the village old chief there.
I close the door.
She's not the one with.
That's a hard no.
Nope.
Yes, she resonates with your traumas, with Bray's traumas. I know, understand.
So I'll turn. Sorry.
No, please.
I was going to say, I turn back to Celia and Zephyrus. So it's like this. I'm not sure how I got mostly better the last time, but it is an equal share of 4 snakes worth of gold, and it is very tempting. And we are only returning stolen property. What am I
So
saying?
maybe we take him back, right? We drop him off, and then she can take the snake or take the dog from Hades, and then what happens? If it happens, it happens. We've taken the best boy home. We've done what we've promised to do, and then
After that, out of our hands.
it's
Okay.
Seems fair, and I'll open the door again.
I'll actually interrupt you there because she's not the kind who waits, and she's more. She just opens the door and exits herself. As for the specific kind of Gorgon we're dealing with, it's the kind with the snake tail and not the legs in this case, even if I'm a fan of any kind of Gorgon that happens. And that's why I made one as the art notes for the Inhuman. And you notice that perhaps not fitting the era, but this snake bounty hunter does have a cowboy hat on her head with all the snakes coming down in the back, basically. I say, and she says, "Okay, I seem to understand. You know where I can find my dog, right?"
That's not your dog. And I kind of mostly turn to Celia and Zephyrus, but I'm very aware of where she is. But this is we did check that it was the right dog, right? We did get confirmation this is, his dog.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I did. The description given by the owner matched him entirely. So yes, this is the right dog.
It's a pretty specific kind of dog, yes.
Yeah.
So I'll turn back to Benefica. Yeah, so it's not your dog. The owner proved that sight unseen that he was the rightful owner.
She does have a careful look at you, and she smiles, and there's a little forked tongue coming out of the mouth there, because she understands the consequences of some things that happen to you. And
yeah, I just look at the ground. I'm just looking at the ground and shuffling my feet awkwardly.
And she crawls around you. She's not coiling you, but she's just circling around you. She says, "You see, there's a simple fact here. I was sent to grab the dog, to take the dog to my employers, and that makes it my dog because I say so. Understand? Or rather, capiche?"
That was amazing.
Yes, I went there.
Okay. What are they paying you for this?
A fair amount of gold plus favors and reputations that none of you can match, I'm sure, because their reputation in certain circles that you have nothing to deal with. The employers are quite mysterious right now. She's speaking about these employers. You have no idea who they are.
Okay.
The problem is that we have signed paperwork.
I don't think she cares.
Yes, I don't give up. them about those. So you can go now and give me the dog. And perhaps I won't make you garden implements for the satyrs to use.
But what if you could get some accolade from Hades instead? Is Hades
How
more
tall is
important?
this bounty hunter?
She's a little, well, taller than you for sure, but like an half person taller than the average guy. She's a big lady.
Yeah, I think we should walk with her to a field which is not in the direction of Cerberus.
Mhm. Claire was mentioning about Hades, and Venefica replies, yes, you're missing the point because not everyone is interested in being in good terms with the Olympians. Some of us prefer to have a reputation with other people.
Oh, well, how about we walk and talk? Who are these other people? It could be very interesting. I mean, if we helped you out, would there be accolades coming to us?
I suppose that could be done. I think
Mm.
that she would be very happy to reward anyone who allows her to see the dog again. And
Well, I will be gently trying to persuade her to be walking in a specific direction.
oh, you're
Um,
trying to place her in a point, or you're trying to talk with her?
we're talking, we're walking, slithering.
I would like for to put this lady into a position where she is the tallest thing in the area.
Okay. Yeah, that would be in the middle of the village. There are no other buildings in there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I think I won't have you roll anything there, Claire, because you put things in a way that will work, and she has no reason to keep seeing things that secret if you put the terms that way, other than professional behavior. But she mentions, I was sent here by the dog's mother, Echidna, and she would like to see the dog, or rather, her son again. Typhon Echidna would like to check on Cerberus a little bit, because it's been an eternity since they saw him disappear into the depths of the underworld, and they would like to see him. So I was sent to retrieve their boy.
Oh, now you see that just tugs on my heartstrings. That really does.
I know, says Michele, and not Venefica, because that's why I wrote that thing, because it's really cute in the way I see things.
Yeah, and I can see why she would want to see her boy and her boy and her boy, because they're just all so good. And oh, well, maybe like Hades would work out some sort of visitation schedule, like every third weekend or something like that. Maybe that would work for us or them. And everybody could get paid.
I'll tell you what I think here, because I doubt an Olympian would do that by his own. But because I am very liking how you're putting things there, Claire. Let's say I come with you to the Styx, and we arrange things together with the Queen and the King of the Underworld about this.
Yeah, that I think that would be the best idea, and he would be really happy to see Cerberus. So he might be much more amenable to a negotiation at that point, because he'll be in a good mood.
Okay. if Celia and Bray also agrees with gathering one more member to the party, which in this
I
this
don't
case is
really. It's like I don't
All the
really
NPCs.
trust it, honestly.
it's fair.
Because it's like the dog has been out of Hades for a while now, and it isn't a mystery of where it was. So why would you hang out here and then like if you're just like, oh yeah, I'm just taking it home. Why? Why would you turn people to stone? Why not? And especially considering the king didn't want this creature, right? Like it was a quest. She could have just gone to the king and say, I will take your quest and just take the dog. Like there was just no need for all of this, right?
You do tell that to her. You doubt her openly. You ask her about this, or you just express the doubts to the others.
I'm expressing my doubts, and it's just like it's cute, like, but again, it's like Typhoon, you know, Cerberus's parents. How long has Cerberus been with them, right?
Yes, I basically there was a big problem that stopped me from going to take the dog. I was hired specifically 1 week ago, where a certain hero died setting himself ablaze on a pyre, because that was a problem that stopped any intervention from going in that sense. And once I've learned that some heroes would take Cerberus to Hades, I reasoned to put myself into the way. Because I didn't want to do ill with Hercules. But he's dead, so that's...
Mhm.
I mean, I think she sounds
can-
like she sounds like she's on the up and up. I mean, completely legit. I can see where she's coming from.
You can, of course, make an empathy plus cunning or composure roll to determine what you can parse from Benefica there.
Yeah, I think that would be.
While they're rolling for my part, I'm just trying to appear as small and insignificant as possible.
You said empathy and
Either cunning or composure.
okay.
One success.
Okay, let's see what Kim
Yes.
does.
All right. Well, that's good. I have 2 8s and a 10.
Ooh, nice.
Okay, 2 8s and a 10, it's a 4, and you notice that as ruthless as a bounty hunter she might be, her intention are exactly what she told you. She's legit by what she told you. She just planned to ambush you in this place because it was a mandatory stop, essentially, and force you to make a choice there. And you understand that she was hired recently, and before you traveled here, she had no reason to care about Cerberus. But for successes, you understand that she's telling you the truth. She's also keeps circling around Bray because she's entertained by Bray being scared by Gorgons, and she's having fun with that.
Yes, I would like you to stop harassing my friend.
Okay,
No,
fine.
it's fine. It's okay.
Oh
Just
no, I'm
don't mind
totally
me.
ready to just use the cinematic and just like I don't want to deal with this.
You just want to taste the bounty hunter.
No, leave my friend alone. I think that would be a very poignant moment of you're being truthful. I appreciate it, but you're in my way. I appreciate your honesty and your candidness, but
Don't be a jerk. Yes, and that's a very fitting thing to do for any fantasy protagonist. So kudos to that. She stops. She chuckles a little bit, but she stops.
So
and I'm just looking at all these rewrites, and it's like, oh, this would be perfect.
Are we all going down to Hades then? All of them? Creepy guy? Oh no, creepy guy wants to live outside. And new friend is coming, and Cerberus, and we're going to work out visitation rights because you know he likes his wife going and hang out for like 6 months, which, I think he's a big softie. I think he'll be up for it.
I'll let the others answer. Benefica is up to join you for the time being if you're happy to go.
Yeah, as long as she stops harassing my friend, I won't hit her with a tempest. Have some lightning. But yeah.
Okay, so we have yet another screen appearing at the bottom of the shot with Benefica's join your party, which is a really weird party, but it's also quite awesome. You have a snake who turns into an hydra, a stone person, a hair spirit, Cerberus himself, a weird creepy guy, and a gorgon cowboy bounty hunter. So that's awesome, if you ask me. So you leave the village with lots of satyrs having a little breath of relief with the gorgon leaving like that, and you do reach the door to Hades, which is just a big jagged rock of crystals gleaming in the red purple light with a deep chasm in the middle with fire coming up, and which is more for scenery than actual fire that will damage you. But it's a very, very cool place to have a shot for the trailers and all that sort of stuff. The weird creepy guy, it's just basically he trembles by excitement at the sight of his new workplace. Say, yes, I'll stay here forever. It takes place right next to the door, grabs his backpack, takes out a skull, they put in the backpack, he places it there, it adjusts it, then there's a little carpet where he puts his stuff, his weird herbs, and the creepy stuff he sells. He adjusts himself a little bit, tries the place. Yes, I'm gonna like this. Thank you.
It's very important to customize your workspace. So it's personal to you, so you have better workflow, creativity. So bravo, creepy dude. Bravo.
I'm gonna make so many useless riddles and stuff that makes people wonder on the dangers ahead while knowing nothing about it. So I will everything I'll say about the Hades will have nothing to do with the actual stuff in there, and it will be so not useful. It will be amazing.
Right. Quick practice to see if you're worthy of this place. Is this the door to Hades?
Once you go in there, you'll never know.
Nailed it.
Which is a sentence that makes no sense whatsoever.
Truly a genius of a craft.
I'm gonna 5-star Yelp review, creepy guy, the door of Hades.
Totally unhelpful.
Would not return. Leave and don't look back.
Oh no.
Sorry, phone going on off in the wrong moment.
Yeah.
Well, Beethoven by my phone aside, I imagine that you'll go into the Hades and see what happens there.
Mm.
Okay. As Hades promised, thanks to the intercession between Zephys and the god himself back in Act 1, your trip to Hades goes fine. You mean, yeah, I mean, you walk down stairs made of bones and despair, and there are specters and shadows going there. But the Greek hell was just more of a place, which wasn't great for the most part, but there was no mean intent behind it. And as a big fan of mythology, even when running one shot goes for the comedic things, I prefer to be true to the idea than going the Hercules way and making Hades the bad guy like in the movie Hercules, because relatively speaking, for the Greek gods, it was the least bad of the bunch. Perhaps with a couple more that are just okay. So
Mhm.
It's just a bureaucrat. I know I'll be cranky if you fill
he was
paperwork out
yeah.
for eons.
Yeah.
Besides, I do love the version where Hades and Persephone genuinely love each other, and I love Lord Olympus. So we're going with cool Hades in this house. So you move forward and you reach River Styx, where a old man takes in a little boat, comes near the side of the river, and he says, "Oh, the dog is here." He leaves, returns with a much bigger boat.
Yeah, that would definitely require a bigger boat.
We need a bigger boat. So Charon is just happy to take the dog in. You see, Cerberus recognizes Charon, and they play a little bit, and so you all hop on the boat, and by the side of Hades, there's a shade in the shape of an ephemeral man with a giant hole into his chest, who looks at you with a tear in his eyes.
I just mouth, you brought this on yourself.
Don't steal my dog, bro.
That's always true. Don't mess with people's dogs or
Mhm.
ever. And so you travel through the river. There's ghosts floating, and in the distance you see the Furies working on some particularly nasty evildoers. There's a dude in a flaming wheel running around, but we won't focus on Ixion for this time. Once you do travel and you reach the throne room of the Greek underworld, where a girl who found place working there after a disappointment introduces you to the owners of the place. She says, "Hello, I'm Eurydice, and I take care of guests here, and please do go have a talk with Hades and Persephone." On thrones made of bone and onyx, because it fits the aesthetics. I mean, it's what people expect. You do find the divine couple. You find Hades, which is who is like the man I've described, sort of from the statue. There are some differences. He's wearing a suit, and his hairs are white rather than the marble you expected to be black for some reason from the light. Where Persephone, she's looking with hair who do happen to have the same tone of roses and a bit of trees. She must have just returned from the time she spent up in the world, so she's still resettling back to the role of Queen of the Underworld. They're all they're a nice couple. You see that they talk to each other. They play like those couples that have been married for a long way, and they're still happy about things. And so when they see the dog, oh, Cerberus, it's here. Cerberus wiggles, and he makes the attempt to run toward them, but at a certain point he turns back to you free and still looks for the permission to go, because he got you became his friends along the way.
Oh.
So he wants to return home, but he asks for the permission still.
Like, go on. It's okay, boy. You can do it.
Oh,
We love you.
he wiggles the tail and just returns to a giant doghouse made of marble shaped like the Parthenon itself, which is on the side and has been empty for far too long by this time. He enters there. There's a squeaky Kraken plushie made of plastic that he starts to chew on. He is back home. Okay.
Aww.
So You have
we'll see if we can negotiate the Cerberus gets to go and see his mom.
Adas starts to talk and say, "So you brought back my dog." Adas gets interrupted by Persephone. She's doing the talking at this moment. Okay, thanks for bringing back my dog to us. I've been missing him a lot. I'm sure Adas also did. Really? No, dear. Okay, what can we do for you? It's been just we really appreciate it since Hercules came here and made the "I'm the son of Zeus, give me the dog" things value, which was the worst, to be honest. So
Yeah.
we owe you a favor. So I think your king will pay you. We can spirit you away to the king's palace without a pitch. I think that's all right if you were okay with that.
Yes. But also, Cerberus's mom misses him and would like to see him for a bit. Can that be arranged?
Others intervenes at this point. He says, Echidna has a bit of an history of creating monsters to mess with us, and Typhon kinda destroyed the Olympus on an occasion, so you understand why the relationships aren't at the best of levels there. Hades looks at Persephone. Persephone looks at Hades, and she looks at the dog, and she just comes nearby to you, and she grabs your hands and talks to you directly, and she says, "You think the dog would be happy about that?"
I don't know. He remembers everyone that's nice to him. So if his mom was nice to him, then I think he would be very happy to see her again.
I mean, I could always. I'm supposed to go up every 6 months, so I could always take the dog with me for a while and have them meet. What do you say, dear? Listen, we can make that work. Okay. I think it's arranged.
And if Cerberus gets lost again, we're more than happy to bring him back, especially now that we know the way.
Well, yes, I'll make sure he won't return to King Eurystheus' town, at least. But you saved us a problem here because, you see, Hero took the dog out, and we needed 3 heroes to bring him back. And so thanks for that. It's all heroic bureaucracy, but I think that you bringing the dog back here to us makes clear that you're heroes, because nobody less than a hero would have managed to do that. So thanks for that. Ada starts to clap, and Persephone does, and all the dead people around you clap as well.
I bashfully kick a stone on the ground, like, oh, it's okay.
Awkwardness. What? Okay. Well, we should go. Awkward. No, let's go.
The roof cracks with like a volcano erupting, which opens up an opening for you through time and space, which opens up not right up on the direction where you had, but basically causes a volcano to erupt in the middle of the throne room of King Eurystheus.
Oh, no.
And you are sent flying up there with Venefica is there as well with you, because it's she was part of the party, though the gods know the protagonist of the adventure were you three. And after the volcano erupts and destroys the palace, leaving only the throne room with a very tired king on the throne, you find yourself there, and you have just Eurystheus saying nothing, just messaging his temples. and asking the people to bring in the gold and cover you with that, as promised, as legally binding as things were. And I'm proud to say that there were 2 titles going for maybe 3 for the movie, depending on the gods you made pacts with. One title was Beware of Dog, but yeah, you made this movie title Save the Dog, and you saved the dog, everyone.
Yay!
Always save the dog.
Yeah. Best dog.
I hope you all had fun playing my little baby Cyclops escaped in the
I
came from
loved
for one
it.
shot here.
That
I loved
was
it.
a
Thank
blast.
you.
Thank you for inviting me.
Thanks to all of you for participating. Thanks for Onyx Path for organizing the things. Thanks to Travis. Thanks to Corey for being our tech person behind the stage there, and the channel The Plastic Age Plays for hosting us and letting me run my game that I honestly don't run quite as much as I should. Though we have some plans, perhaps they'll manifest to run a longer form thing of Witchford Academy, perhaps in the future with, I think, Ryan will be up for that. That will be fun. We'll see about that. There are still some events going for the Onyx PathCon. The ending ceremony hasn't happened yet, so things are still happening. In fact, I think the plan for now is to shift things toward the ongoing The World Below actual play, which is the very first time The World Below gets played with people who aren't privy to Onyx Path's secrets. It's the first public event for The World Below past the panel that has just happened. So we'll shift there, and I hope you get to enjoy things. And I hope you had fun for us having Brickle Adventures in Cyclops' Cave. Thanks for everyone for participating.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for
Bye,
watching,
everyone.
guys.